Mistakes. I've made many mistakes. We all have. Maybe you forgot to put your SD card in your camera. Maybe you've missed focus on the shot. Or you've overexposed or underexposed too much and couldn't fix it afterwards. No matter what it is, we've all been there, and the only way you can grow as a cinematographer and filmmaker is to learn from your mistakes, so now, learn from mine. I want to take you through some mistakes I've made while working on my cinematography skills, and how I improved from them so you can avoid making the same ones. Let's start with... You should stop waiting to fix mistakes in post. If you want your shots to have a certain look or style, do it while you're filming and don't wait to figure it out in the edit. If you want to achieve certain colors in your cinematography, make sure they are there in the moment. You want to see while you're filming the final look you're going to get before you see it on a bigger screen. You don't want to be second guessing or assuming you can fix everything in post, as that can lead to worse shots. It's a bad mindset to have, and the reason your favorite cinematographers create the amazing work they make. Hoyt van Hoytma and Christopher Nolan always aim to create as much as possible with real sets and real locations, so it feels like you are there when you watch it. Even in Project Hail Mary, a film that takes place mostly in space, with so many shots requiring VFX, Greg Fraser pushes for in-camera effects and practical ways to achieve things you might not think are possible, making it more immersive for the audience. No matter what you're filming, if you can create the look in camera and avoid more work later, do not wait to add it or fix it in post. Your work is only as good as the amount of time you put into planning it. You cannot skip on pre-production. If you've watched any of my behind the scenes videos, you will know just how much time and effort I put into planning my projects because it makes that big of a difference. From gathering inspiration and ideas, to shot listing or storyboarding, location scouting, and camera tests, it all helps to push your work towards a better end product. This is where you make your creative decisions on your projects, like the aspect ratio, composition ideas you have, lighting and color choices for your look, and the set design. But now is also when you have to make the logistical choices to bring it all together. You'll need to schedule your shoot dates to keep things going, or even the equipment you'll need to bring your vision to life. The bigger the budget you have, the more planning you'll have to do so you don't waste the money going into it. But no matter what you're trying to create, the more prepared you are, the better the filming process will be, and you'll see it was worth the effort of diving into pre-production. As a cinematographer, I sometimes forget that the visuals are not the only thing that brings your story to life. As a solo creator, these elements enhance and complete your visual storytelling, and that's the music and sound design. And there's only one place I want to get my music from because my work benefits that much from it: MusicBed, the sponsor of today's video. I want the music I pick to feel like it belongs in the world I'm building, captivating the audience. When I listen to soundtracks from some of my favorite films, I want my work to evoke that same emotion I get when I hear them. MusicBed knows this and makes it easier to search by those songs I enjoy to find music that work for the stories I want to tell. Music is just half of it, and with MusicBed sounds, now I can build out the sound design further. You don't want to forget about this because no matter how good your cinematography is, sound design will make the experience more memorable and heighten the impact of the visuals. As much as you want to see a story unfold, you want to hear it as well, and only MusicBed's in-house team pushes for that quality we strive for from real human artists. They set the standard that helps creators and filmmakers like me avoid a generic taste in music. If you want music and sound effects that elevate the story you want to tell, MusicBed offers a 14-day free trial so you can experience that yourself. You won't find music like this anywhere else. Switch to MusicBed now, link is in the description, and thank you to MusicBed for sponsoring today's video. I love autofocus. It's the reason I've been able to create all of this all by myself. Only relying on autofocus can sometimes be our downfall. Year after year, autofocus has gotten better from all the different camera brands, but when we see it start to hunt or focus on the wrong subject, that can ruin the immersion for the audience. We need to take back that control in our camera work. As much as it makes things easier, I've learned to rely more on manual focus, especially as a solo filmmaker. You don't always want your camera to decide for you where the focus will be. Sometimes you want subjects to be out of focus so the audience notices other things in frame. Sometimes you'll lock the focus because if your subject isn't moving, the focus doesn't have to either. If you're having trouble with manual focus, one solution is not to rely only on the screen of your camera. Most camera screens are too small and not of high enough quality to depend on them for focus. Using at least a 5-inch monitor can make a big difference, and if you can't afford that, you can even use your phone as a monitor. Most camera brands have ways of connecting your phone to the camera as an external monitor, as Sony has with their monitor and control app. I always make sure to use tools like peaking so I know what should be in focus is sharp. Improving your skills with manual focus is worth it, and is why we don't see bigger films relying on autofocus. With how far we've advanced in camera technology, it really is less about the gear we use. It really doesn't matter what camera you have to bring your vision to life. Yes, some might have better image quality than others, features that might help us make things easier or faster, but there really isn't that big of a difference between one camera and another. You can even create beautiful and meaningful work on your phone like you would with a cinema camera if you know what you're doing. What you put in front of the camera matters way more than the actual body you use. Your lens choices, lighting, set design, and wardrobe decisions all contribute to creating what's in your mind. They say gear doesn't matter, but the one thing that does matter when deciding what gear you create with is the experience you get while using it. You'll get different outcomes with different cameras, and you should find the best camera that fits your style, not what everyone else says. When you find a camera or any gear that is fulfilling and worth using for you, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of it. If you've made mistakes over your cinematography and filmmaking career, let me know in the comments below and how you've overcome them. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.